Distressed public servants getting 5 days leave, all because we voted no. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and I want to have a look at this article that I know is a few days old, but it is just utterly insane. Now, we had a referendum and, well, there's no right answer or there's no wrong answer. There is just an answer. It's democracy. Australia voted no to the voice. That's it. That's the solution. You need to accept it and move on. It really feels like a lot of people aren't taking it too well. You had a week of mourning. A week of mourning. In some ways, the mere act of that seems quite disgusting and a slap in the face to democracy. That's how it is. You got to take the wins and you got to take the losses. So let's look at this because I can't come to grips with how this makes sense. 5 days leave if you are suffering from psychological distress. Paid leave. Paid leave. Now let me bring this up here, guys. So this is Queensland government. Public servants. I'm sure all the fellow small business owners here would, yes, appreciate the fact that no, you can't just take time off. No, you can't do your work just because a political opinion you had didn't succeed. You got to push on. But maybe this is the psychological difference between yes voters and no voters. So public servants offered 5 days of paid leave if they are psychologically distressed by Australia voting against the voice. Shouldn't you be a little bit more robust and a bit more of an adult? Wow. Or maybe, hey, let's do 4D chess here. Let's take a step back. This is the way of finding out the weak links. But you can't fire them, can you? Public servants in Queensland have been offered 5 days of paid leave if they are suffering from psychological distress following a failed voice referendum. And I guarantee you, every civil servant will take it. Even if they voted no, they'll still take it. Can you blame people? Hey, 5 days, that's a week holiday. Why not? Cash it in. Cha-ching. Leaders in the public service this week received an email telling them they could grant workers special leave as well as sick leave. You could take your sick leave. Take your sick leave. So rather than when you're really sick, you take it for this. But okay. I mean, I guess I'm too out of touch with the current year. The message from Public Sector Commissioner David Mackey called on department bosses to consider the emotional impact the referendum's result would have on Indigenous workers. Well, some of them voted no too. Okay, that's how it works. He added the initiative was to ensure staff members remained mentally well. Okay, I mean, sure, you're sad when you lose at something, when your political opinions don't get up, but that's a part of life. To help ensure, it could also be, I think in some regards the voice was quite unique because a lot of people wouldn't even discuss it. They were afraid to actually share their perspective or their opinion because they'd be labelled racist. If you go on Twitter, you could see all of the yes voters, just any valid criticism someone had against the proposed implementation of the voice was just attacked and torn to pieces. You were labelled racist. It was very simplistic thinking from the yes side. I guess, explains a lot, doesn't it? To help ensure this is realised, employees who are experiencing challenges with their social and emotional well-being at this time, such as they feel they should not attend the workplace, should be supported in accessing appropriate leave entitlements to look after their health and well-being, he wrote in an email seen by the Courier Mail. I mean, you would expect this would just be a blanket rule regardless. Okay, so maybe they're playing it up a bit here with the voice. If you're under stress, you need to take a step back. You don't want to burn out. He continued, some employees may also choose to return to country and their local communities to support each other in grieving the outcome of the referendum. Employees may be able to seek access to paid special leave for this period. Delegates can exercise discretion to approve such leave if appropriate. Mr. Mackey added that requests for flexible work should also be considered. Indigenous leaders vowed to begin a week of mourning following Saturday's referendum result. Queensland overwhelmingly rejected the proposal, with only 31% of voters backing the voice, which would have enshrined an Aboriginal advisory body into the Constitution. Yes, and we voted against it. More than 60% of voters across Australia voted against adopting the voice. So there you go, everyone. Let's have a bit of a reflection and a chat about this one, eh? Now, I'm trying to see both sides of this. I imagine there are certain people that are in the public service. There is a significantly greater chance that you would be in a greater social media and cultural bubble compared to the rest of the world. And when we talk about the Canberra bubble, it's the same thing in every capital city, in every public works department. People would be afraid to share their opinions, which are politically incorrect, because you'd be taken to HR, people would dob you in. It's not the real world. It's removed. So you've got this politically correct, hypersensitive environment pushing all of these agendas, and it'd all be on The Voice too. And everyone is just expected to, you think everyone else will just agree with you, but I guarantee you there are a lot of people there that just jump through the hoops, deal with the bullshit, and keep, when you talk to them at drinks, at a work function, then that's when the truth comes out, but they'll never admit it at the office because, well, they're not comfortable to do it. What does that tell you? So, of course, you've got people that are shocked that the result actually turned out the way it did, because their entire world is just so isolated from reality. And that's where we've got policies like this, 5 days of leave. I can't relate to it. I've voted for things that haven't succeeded. You just have to move on. Yeah. I think this whole process was a complete disaster. I think it set back race relations in Australia a significant amount. And it's damaging the Labor brand. We'll have to see if Albanese becomes more than a one-term Prime Minister. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. What do you think? Do you suspect that did you take 5 days off if you needed it? Or did you just move on with your life? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. You know what to do to support the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.